Okay, my guys, another week has passed and it's time to review the fights of this week. So I'm gonna show you a very nice mushy strategy today. But first, let's dive into there is no qualifier, of course, because we were third. Let's start with the first fight of this week. Then I got the chance to take revenge. So I failed this fight last week. And now, I'm putting Keira and Lyria. So they are gonna do the damage here. And also to make sure I get the survival. So last week I talked about putting Oliver on my Lyria. Sure, that tested well, but this performed even better in tests. And to make sure I wouldn't lose, I tested with flag. I tested with flag with patterns, without flag. I tested with different pets, all permutations. And I think this is what you need to do in this new era of Hero Wars. Before you could be fairly certain with your tests, but now with this flag and all the permutation it gives, you can never really be certain, because there will always be some power that differ, and then will be slightly different timing, etc. So all you can do is just test a lot to increase robustness. And that's what I did, because I really wanted to win. And as you see, Lyria gonna block out the dodge, and if Dante would get away and ult, I have Astaroth, I have my Aurora, and then pretty good damage output anyway, despite all this defense. And yeah, they're going down. Okay, so that was nice to get the revenge. 1 minute about it took to get that down. And the next team, here they have put, so I talked about last week as well the importance of Amira. And I think Amira is very important to block out crit, because you can't dodge it anymore. And I'm starting to build my Amira. Now it's basically, nothing in this Amira. There is no Asgard points, and there is no nothing. But I put Axel there, so Amira will survive a little bit and just prevent the first crit. And as long as I go through the first crit and take the first burst, I'm going to win. And that's what I do. And I will continue building that Amira to deal with this type of teams. So that was nice, bringing Amira to work. First Amira fight for me in Guild War, because I've not used her much before. And now, toughest guild on the server. And they actually play just the same. They have not changed. I'm kind of surprised. And I'm just doing the same. So as you can see, I'm doing a lot of 2 tanks, and then Keira, Morgan, and then either Aidan or Lyria, depending on if it's dodge or not. Now there's no dodge. I bring my Aidan. And then I might have Corvus, Astaroth, Aurora in the front. So you get both good survival and good damage output. And this is a very, very good way to work, to rotate around some tanks around Keira. Very powerful hero now since the release of Lyria. And let's see here. They're doing almost the same, and I'm doing exactly the same. And what is so nice is that Corvus with Albus, backed by Aidan, is just doing so much damage while being tanky. And then you can put your Oliver on the other tank. You have Resurrect on Keira. You have Morgan there to heal. If you have Lyria, you have the Vampiris. You can build some really tanky team with damage output. So Keira is very useful now. And that is nice. Keira is the first carry that I built in this game when I started in 2020 during COVID. I was bored during lockdown, checked out this game, and I got stuck with it. There was 1 year I kind of dropped out, did nothing, then I came back. Let's see here. I don't know if you hear it. My son is doing some noise in the background, but his mother is there, so she will deal with it. And now, this is a really nice mushy strategy. So what you will see now, when Corvus raised the tombstone, and you will see here, mushrooms will show up as well. So now, because there are mushrooms, Keira will suddenly insta-die, because Keira will hit my whole team, and the mushrooms will get a lot of strikes from the tombstone. You have Corvus there with Albus, you have Aidan powering up Corvus, and this is very powerful. I ran several tests, And then if I replace Mushi, so I don't have these extra mushrooms, then Keira is not going to insta-die. And when I discovered this, I tested it a lot, so I was happy it worked the first try. I was maybe a bit too hyped. So I was sloppy in my next fight. You will see what I did. Yeah, next fight is a really, really painful loss actually. So here, I had discovered the Mushi, Corvus, Aidan strategy. And I was thinking Keira gonna die instead, and that's what Keira did in tests. But I didn't test with a flag. So as soon as you bring in this flag, that is gonna boost the pet, and this pet is boosting healing. I'm actually not sure what is done here, but in simulations, without flag, Keira insta-dies. With flag, Keira survives. So what I should have done here, I should have just put Astaros instead of something here, and I would have won. I think Morrigan replaced with Astaros and I would have won it. I will do that next week. I want revenge on this. Also, this team you could probably use Amira, but my Amira is not strong enough to deal with this team. A painful loss. Because we would have maybe even draw this. This is the second strongest guild on the server. You see, we're very close. So let's see, Crusaders. Still fighting in gold, that's nice. They deserve it. Now I actually took my revenge as well on this guy. So now I tested, like I said, when I want to win, I test so much with a lot of permutations of flag and pets and patterns and whatnot. And so what I landed on, I talked about Maya. Maya would pile them up, stun them. Corvus, Lyria will reduce the dodge of you have 3 dodge heroes here. And yeah, it's not so fun to look at this fight actually, because it's a kind of slow grind to grind them down. But they are not gonna get me. They cannot do it. All of this team is fairly tanky. There is not so much healing, but yeah, it is so much crowd control, so I don't really need healing. And then on to the next fight. Yeah, this is a classic defense. I've done this many times before. Astaros tank, and then Lyria Isaac. Lyria giving the vampirism to Isaac. There's not going to be much dodging going on here, and yeah, there's not much to say. I don't think we'll see so much of this defense in the future. They are going to rotate out of it. And last guild of the week. Yeah, would have been flawless if I just would have run a little bit more tests. I was too fast on that fight when I was too excited about Mushi approach. So what we see here, just the same. They do exactly the same as last week. I'm just gonna do the same. This actually got kind of sweaty, as you see. Yeah, there's a Heidi left that is almost killing me, but I won. And let's see here. Yeah, it's the same as last week. I will survive the first burst, and as long as I do that, they are not gonna survive long because I still have decent damage output. I have a resurrect from Keira. I have the Oliver on Lyria to make sure Lyria stay alive, because if Lyria dies, they are gonna start dodging. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Cheers.